Christmas time, it's almost here. I tried to watch as many Christmas specials as I could this year. I picked a whole bunch of ones that I saw back in the day, and a couple that I'd never seen. But being really short Christmas specials, each one of these is under 30 minutes. I thought I would just get a whole bunch of them out of the way at once and tell you what I think about them. So here we go. Here's like 5 Christmas specials that I watched in the span of about 3 days. First up, we've got the Moo Family Holiday Hoedown. You ever heard of this? Well, I certainly hadn't. But it seems to be in the same labeling and the same distributor, the Christmas Classic series. This is the same as Frosty the Snowman. Similar packaging. Santa Claus is coming to town. You know, the font is pretty close. I don't know. So you'd think that the people that brought you this, the Moo Family Holiday Hoedown, would bring you something that's as good as this. Or this. Nope. Not even close. The Moo Family Holiday Hoedown is garbage. Plain and simple. I don't know why I even got this. I don't know, it was sealed in plastic though. So it is no longer near mint. But I don't think this is worth anything to anybody. I can't believe that I even paid like $1 for this. Oh, this is absolutely horrible. It's the Moo Family. The fucking Moo Family. They're a bunch of cows. That's the joke. That is the one joke that is repeated over and over and over and over and hammered into your head. They're cows. Isn't this hilarious? Everything is a cow pun. You know, they live on the island of Moo Y or something. They have this like jug band or whatever. I don't know, country band. Or there's the one son. He's supposed to be like rock and roll. You know, cowabunga dude. Whatever. And the rest of the family doesn't like that, or his dad doesn't like that. And there's a little baby cow in there, and the baby of the family, and basically ripped off of like Maggie Simpson, and just kind of wanders around and gets into trouble and stuff. And you know, when everybody's looking after, oh, what's up with the baby and blah, and the like I said, the son is like the rocker, the punk rocker or whatever, and he's constantly wanting to like turn up the amplifiers, dude, and you get these jokes, these standard cliche, like just ridiculous jokes, but everything is about them being cows, and it's fucking stupid. It's so repetitive, and there's not a single thing to make anybody laugh in this. Not even little kids are gonna laugh at this. It's like this Christmas special thing, and it's introduced by this chicken guy, and everything that he says is either a cow pun to go along with the band or whatever, or a chicken pun, or some kind of barnyard thing. It's like, enough with the fucking puns already. I don't know who this is aimed at, but it actually does have some like good voice talent in there. You know, I know one of them is Charlie Adler, a guy who used to voice Arthur in The Tick. Well, let's see, I got it written down somewhere here. I can't believe I had to make notes for the fucking Moo Family. And then there's like Jim Cummings, I believe is his name. The guy who does the voice of Darkwing Duck. He's on this, but he's got this like stupid German accent, and he's doing like the crazy old professor voice, but he's a cow, and so everything that fucking comes out of his mouth is about cows. You can't even understand what he's saying half the time, and like, don't get me wrong, those 2 voice actors I just mentioned, they're good at what they do, and it's just whoever made this cartoon does not know what the hell they're doing. They knew enough to hire these guys to do the voices, but the stuff that they give them their characters to say, oh my god, like, you're never gonna find this anywhere. It was just random that I found it, but if you ever do, do yourself a favor and just keep walking, man, because this is garbage. It is so irritating. It was like, felt like an eternity to get through this. Just because like the voices of the characters, some of the like background characters and stuff, and the sound effects, it's so in your face and it's so obnoxious, and it's so full of like milk jokes and barnyard hay jokes and fucking cow puns. So sick of it. I want to destroy this tape, like Red Letter Media does when they find something that sucks, but I don't got time for that right now. I'm just going to put it in a box. I'm going to ship it off back to the thrift store. Somebody else can deal with this. See you later. Oops. Anyway, in case you hadn't guessed, the Moo Family Holiday Hoedown gets a big old stinking F from me. Yeah, Merry Christmas, you bunch of cows. Alright, here's something a little bit better. Little bit. This is Benji. It's Benji's very own Christmas story. Which is an outright lie, man. Because, well, first of all, let me explain. Benji. Yeah, Benji. Benji, the little dog, little trained dog, he does tricks and whatever. Benji's very own Christmas story is a little like 30-minute segment on this video cassette, which also features the phenomenon of Benji, which is like a little sort of documentary, almost like variety show TV special. They're both TV specials made in 1979. Well, let's get it out of the way. The first one, the Christmas one, barely has anything to do with Benji. The premise of it is that the stars of the last Benji movie, including the dog himself, they're in some town in Switzerland, right in the shadow of the Matterhorn, actually. At least I think it's in Switzerland. I don't know, but you can see the mountain. It's like right up there. And they meet this guy. They're supposed to be in this parade. So they meet this guy who actually claims to be like Santa Claus or Saint Nick or whatever. He's in one version of Santa Claus. And he leads them into this magical pocket dimension where it's like, it's where all the elves do all the work. And this is where, Santa is based. And here he changes outfits and he becomes all different forms of Santa Claus, like all the different supposed renditions of him around the world, some of which I swear they made up or they're totally misinterpreting. The dog, Benji, whose very own Christmas story this is supposed to be, does nothing in this TV special. He runs across the room. I think he pulls something off a table. I don't know, goes and fetches something. But that's it. There's like 3 little tricks, and they all take place in like 30 seconds. And the rest of the time, people are just carrying the dog around, barely even talking about him. And, it's basically just this stupid Santa Claus thing. And like, you could have taken the dog right out of there and it would have been totally fine. You would have known what was going on and it would have totally made sense. Like I said, it has nothing to do with the dog. It's just a poorly written little vignette. Really, a couple of songs in there, and this guy that's supposed to be Santa Claus like sings a couple of songs. Anyway, it's pretty terrible. But that's only the first chunk of this. So like, if I had to give that its own grade, I guess I'd give it like a D or a D plus, because it was disappointing to say the least. But then, later on the tape, we get the phenomenon of Benji. Now, this is presented as like a kind of a 70s variety show, like a Sonny and Cher show, and you have your announcer up on stage and you have your musical guests, and then you have they sit down and it's like a talk show. And let me tell you though, this half-hour special, the other one was about a half an hour, this one's about another half an hour, it was far superior to that first thing. It was really informative and I found quite interesting. Super cheesy. It's like there's at one point they get like a couple of singers that they come out on stage and they come out from the rotating panel and they come out and they sing this song and this like dressed in their best 70s disco attire, and they sing a song to the dog. This one guy's playing the piano and he's serenading the dog who's sitting on top of the piano. But it was actually kind of interesting because I learned the history of Benji. I knew like when I was a kid that there was like a couple of Benji movies, And I think this was made after the second one, or maybe the third one. And he was also in the Chevy Chase movie, the Oh Heavenly Dog movie. But I did not know that that dog, Benji, was in Petticoat Junction. Now, this is the second year in a row that I've come across a reference to Petticoat Junction. I don't think I really ever want to watch that show, but this was interesting. And like, Benji was on the show like for the full run of it. I think they were on like 3 seasons of the show or something. And he was this like amazing little dog that could do all these crazy tricks and stuff. People used to tune in just to see the dog sometimes. I had no idea. At least that's what I'm gathering from this video cassette here. So like on this special, they have like stars of the show that come and they visit Benji, and they're like, oh, well, this isn't actually the same dog. It's like, you know, because that was like 15 years earlier or something. This is actually his, well, they say son, but I believe it's actually the daughter of the original Benji. Or maybe that's just the other Benji movie that I reviewed like a super long time ago. Anyway, also in this special, you get to see actually the guy who like trains Benji, and he's in some of the movies and stuff. And he brings the dog out on stage and he shows off the bunch of tricks that Benji can do. And it's actually pretty amazing. It's a really well-trained little dog. Super smart little dog. There's at one point where the dog goes to the edge of the stage and there's like all these kids crowded around the edge of the stage like a mosh pit. And they're all like grabbing at the dog and they're all trying to pet the dog, and the dog's he's just walking by and all the kids are trying to pet him and stuff. And it was a phenomenon of Benji. So yeah, that was alright. That was like the second half of this tape. So, you know, the full thing was like an hour. And I would give that part, like a, I don't know, B-, because it was more interesting than I thought it was going to be, and it gave me a couple of laughs with the cheesy singers and whatnot. But to balance that out with that D from the first part, I don't know. Sorry, Benji. The best I can do for you for this tape, for the double feature of Benji's very own Christmas story and the phenomenon of Benji, best I can do for you is a C+. Sorry, Benji. You're still a good boy. Next up we have Bugs Bunny's Looney Christmas Tales. This one's another Christmas special from 1979. And this is released surprisingly to me, all original cartoons made in 1978, 79, somewhere thereabouts. Usually the Looney Tunes movies, they tend to be like just big clip shows with like some new stuff like sprinkled in as a wraparound story and that sort of thing. But surprisingly not this one. No, this one has like a little wraparound story with basically Bugs Bunny trying to get the Looney Tunes characters to sing Christmas carols, and it's not really very funny. It's just like Porky Pig comes out and stutters. That's what he does. That's his shtick. Elmer Fudd has his own speech impediment. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get humor out of that, and it's not really working. So that's like the wraparound. This is 3 original cartoons, and then you also get Bugs Bunny relating the tale of A Christmas Carol. Yosemite Sam is Ebenezer Scrooge, so it's really about him. But this is very, very much not like A Christmas Carol. First of all, it's only like 7 minutes long. You get like Porky Pig as Bob Cratchit, I think, and Bugs Bunny's just some like random guy that comes into Ebenezer Scrooge's shop or whatever, and he sees the situation that Yosemite Sam is in, or rather that Bob Cratchit is in. Oh, and Tweety Bird plays Tiny Tim. Bugs Bunny comes in and he sees like how horrible like Yosemite Sam, Ebenezer Scrooge, is treating his employees. Bugs Bunny goes to his house later and throws a sheet on and impersonates a ghost and says, "I'm the ghost of Christmas," and scares him a bit. And then that's all it takes is like 1 minute of Bugs Bunny antics, and like, I don't know, I think he drops an anvil on his head or something. Okay, maybe not that violent. This is 1979. They're starting to tone down the Looney Tunes by then. But anyway, he messes with him, and then Scrooge turns over a new leaf, and decides to go give out a bunch of money. And it's stupid. It's A Christmas Carol that you've seen a million times in a million other adaptations, but it's condensed down to like 7 minutes, and there's only one ghost in it, And that combines the ghost of Christmas past, present, future, as well as Jacob Marley, you know, that character, and it's pretty dumb. But that's only the first part, the first of the 3 cartoons. The second one is like a Roadrunner one. And again, this is made in 1979. It's the Roadrunner and Coyote, of course, after him, but it's like snow-based. Coyote orders all this stuff from like Acme Corporation, and he gets like a snow making machine which goes like out of control, and he gets buried in snow like 5 times. Then he gets like a dog sled to chase after the Roadrunner with, like once there's all this snow around. I found that hilarious because it comes in this super big crate, like this super long crate, and all the dogs, you can hear them barking inside the crate, and they're all like strung up, and so he basically gets sucked into the crate and the dogs chew him up, and it was actually pretty funny. That was like the first laugh that I got out of this. There's a few laughs in here, like, you know, all the other Roadrunner gags were, I thought, pretty funny. You got your rocket skis, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, it's only like, again, like 7 minutes long, so there's not really that much to tell you about, but I like that part of it. And then the third part of the cartoon is, for whatever reason, this Tasmanian devil is being flown over the North Pole on his way to Australia. Back to Tasmania, I guess. Why the fuck would you fly over the North Pole? Anyway, it's there to set up that basically the Tasmanian devil escapes, gets out of his enclosure, and he gets off the plane, and I guess falls off the plane, and he falls right down onto a clothesline with Santa Claus outfit on it, and he's now dressed like Santa Claus, and then he falls right into Santa Claus's sled, and all the elves load him up, and the reindeer take off, and it's like, okay, now Tasmanian Devil's the new Santa Claus. It doesn't have to make sense, people. This is Looney Tunes. Anyway, he goes around, I guess it's like the first house or something that he goes to is like Bugs Bunny's nephew's house, and you know, there's all these gags about him being Santa Claus, and he like tries to fit down the chimney and stuff, and about eating milk and cookies, and Bugs Bunny knows he's the Tasmanian Devil and not the real Santa Claus, so he fucks with him there, and I guess like whacks him in the head, makes him eat weird stuff, and your standard Bugs Bunny gags, right? But again, a little bit of the edge is taken off because this is like a 1970s, late 70s Looney Tunes cartoon. It's not going to be as violent, and certainly the music isn't as good as like those old like 40s, 50s Looney Tunes shorts, like, or even the original Tasmanian Devil cartoons, which I think started in the 50s, maybe the 60s. Yeah, I mean, this isn't quite your 90s Taz exactly, but he's toned down a little bit, the Tasmanian Devil, but still always funny, one of my favorite characters. Yeah, so they mess with him, so he's not able to be Santa Claus anymore, so Bugs and his nephew have to deliver all these presents all over the world in Santa's sleigh. That's where you get this picture from on the cover. It's surprisingly not as lame as I thought it was going to be, but it had potential to be a lot better. But I am going to go ahead and give Bugs Bunny's Looney Christmas Tales a B minus. It's okay. It's, I guess, worth a watch, especially if you're a Looney Tunes fan. If you're not, you can probably skip this and nobody'd care. Oh, and of course I forgot to mention that every single voice in this entire TV special is done by Mel Blanc. Anyway, yeah, B minus minus. Alright, this is probably going to be a hot take, but I watched A Charlie Brown Christmas. I didn't really like it. Of course I've seen this before. It's not the first time I've ever watched this. It's probably like my 50th viewing of this thing. Wait, how old am I? Yeah, I hadn't seen this actually in about 5 or 10 years, and I just found this so boring. And I don't know why everybody thinks this is such a classic Christmas story. It's only classic because it was always on. But there really isn't that much entertainment to be had in here. I mean, like, of course you get to see the Peanuts dancing around, they're doing their little jazzy Peanuts dance, and the song I'm talking about, I can't play it because of copyright. Yeah, okay, fine, you get that, and that's cool. And then you get a couple of jokes about Linus's blanket, like you do in every Peanuts special, and about Snoopy. you know, being irritating, and you get the Lucy psychiatrist little joke in there. Fortunately, Lucy's not really in this one that much, because I always hated that character. And she doesn't get to do the stupid football thing in this one, because I really hate her for that. And I hate Charlie Brown for that too, for falling for that for 80 years. Anyway, yeah, it's got all the standard Peanuts jokes in there. They're supposed to be very, like, you know, thought-provoking and like social commentary and comment on the commercialism of Christmas and all that stuff. Charlie Brown, you know, feels like a loser or whatever. And then at the end, people come sing Christmas songs around his crappy little tree, and Linus gives some stupid speech about the three wise men or something, and we're supposed to take that super seriously and know that it's all about Jesus. And, you know, so maybe that's a hot take. I know a lot of people traditionally love this. That's fine. I'm not trying to take it away from you. You love it all you want. I watched this time, and I was so bored. Like, all the jokes are so outdated and so old, and like, dude, Peanuts have been around since my parents were kids. And let me tell you, that was a long time ago. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't have strong positive memories attached to this one. Even The Great Pumpkin I thought was better than this. Yeah, this was disappointing. Sorry, Charlie Brown. Because of nostalgia and the fact that everybody made me watch this like way back in the day, I guess I'd have to go C+. I don't know, I can't do any better than that, Charlie Brown. But Merry Christmas anyway. Okay, and here's another old as hell one. And I'm running out of Christmas hats, so this is going to be the last one. There's Frosty the Snowman. Frosty the Snowman. You know the song, right? My most vivid memory of the song was, I think it was Dean Martin singing it. I always liked the song. This is a Rankin Bass cartoon, not a stop motion. So it could have been so much better if it was stop motion. But no, this is a 1969 TV special, animated, again, like 30 minutes long. Frosty the Snowman, you know his origin. You know exactly what's going to go down in this tape. They sing it in the song. They put the magic hat, the magician's hat, turns out, in this. They put it on the snowman that they made, and the snowman comes to life, and hey, it's Frosty the Snowman, hey! And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna melt, so they gotta take him somewhere where it's cold, or whatever. And full disclosure, I had a few beers by the time I got around to watching this one. I didn't take any notes, because I didn't think, what notes do you need on Frosty the Snowman? But I don't really remember what happens in this. All I remember was that I was smiling when I was watching it. Of course, you get the song. The voice cast is fine. Turns out they got the exact same guy that played Frosty the Snowman in this special. They got him back for Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. Another Christmas special that I reviewed a couple of years ago. Anyway, Frosty the Snowman, I mean, it's everything that I remembered. It's not fantastic. It's just a little bit of Christmas nostalgia. Worked a lot better on this one than it did on that Charlie Brown one, though. So I guess I have to go ahead and give Frosty the Snowman, like, let's go B. I mean, there's nothing fantastic in it. It's only 30 minutes long. I mean, I got a couple of chuckles out of it. You know, reminded me a little bit of childhood. Yeah, Frosty ain't bad. I'm giving him a B. So yeah, that was like 5 different television specials, Christmas television specials that I watched. I didn't think too deeply about many of them. They all kind of went by. I gave them what I think was a fair grade for the entertainment value that each one of them presented to me, which in some cases, that fucking Moo family, man. And I'm going to have a couple more movies for Xmas AF 2025. So until the next video, stay safe, have a Merry Christmas, and have a good one, everybody.